with the Clove challengers. We present Roland Cato, the captain, Darren Ned, Aston Jackson, Michael Dubisset, David Hazard, Kurt Murray, Samuel Charles, Deron Hippolyte, Richard Rogers, Sheldon Joseph, Jelani George. That's the playing 11. We recognize Devin Tyson, Nicholas Redhead as members of the 13. And the defending champions, they're playing 11. Skipper, Andre Fletcher, Daniel McDonald, Javon Andrews, John Olive, Enoch Toussaint, Kellis Andrew, Craig Alexander, Kyle Ramdu, Nyron Belfort, Dejon Charles, and Alex Moses. We recognize Tyrese Francis, Michael Henry, and Josh Thomas, members of the Nutmeg Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for the finals. All right, so the teams will greet, and then we're getting ready to begin. So,
I said, so you won't choose the hang off on the ground. Yeah, no one ever friend of me, I want some. I don't know about it, no I grew up with my father. Still, we have to try to make it cross the border. But some white shouldn't speak like one more guy. Some I chat, tell them we know this is slogan. We prepare it before we take program. We're not cool, no, we're not cool. Take a shot for money mineral. You save your soul, you save yourself. Why you rest in peace? So tell Cha-Cha we need some help. The truth for the day for my
After weeks of competition, it has boiled down to this. This is the finals. Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 Season 5. The finals will feature two of the teams that were in Season 4, the finalists. We have the winning team from last year, the Nutmeg Warriors. The team that came second, the Clove Challengers, they are going to battle again. Match referee Norman Gilbert is here. He has the coin. We have the toss.
Here is the call. Tail it is.
Kyle, the Nutmeg Warriors have won the toss. What's the decision?
I will have a bowl first.
Okay, having a bowl first, it means that you're looking to restrict the batting of the Clove challengers. What sort of total are you looking at?
I mean, about 100, 110, we should be good with that to chase it on again.
Okay, your batters seem to be coming to the party just at the right time. What can we expect from them today?
Yeah, I mean that's why we chose the bowl first, to restrict them. We could chase down any total. So it's a good toss to win, and hopefully we could chase down whatever they make in the end.
Oh, well, good luck to you today. You know how to be in finals, and so we wish you good luck.
Yeah, man, thanks.
All right, Roland, you are here with us. Another finals, another opportunity for you to take home the main prize. Tell us about your plans for today.
Plans for today is simple. We just come out here. It's another game. We just had to come out here and play like how we have been playing the whole tournament. Just back the guys. Come and execute today.
All right. A lot will be hinged on you, Darren Ned, who we've seen been really explosive. Mentally, how do you guys prepare for a finals like this again?
I mean, as I say, it's just another game. We just had to do the basic cricket. Don't change overnight. So it's just about coming out here, applying ourselves properly, and try and get a full game. A full proper game, because we have played in patches, good in patches, so it's just about coming out here and executing today.
All right, well, let's hope you can bring it together. Good luck for this match.
Thanks.
All right, so there we have it. The toss has been set and it's all ready for action. The finals of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 Season 5. We send you back upstairs and we see you soon.
So welcome to you wherever you are following us. We are at the finals of this Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament, played here at the Lassages playing field. And I could tell you that condition just a little bit on the overcast side. We know about the start with Clove challengers taking first strike. And one expect, Justin, this would be a very exciting and keen final. These two teams met in the finals last year. Nutmeg Warriors coming out on top, and Clove challengers really would want to challenge Nutmeg Warriors, really to reverse that decision last year. So it's really a keen contest as we are about to see the start of this final. Umpires Rupert Holas, Imran George, Rupert Holas, who did the presiding, and as usual having the final chat with his colleague, Imran George from Carriacou. So it's a good time. Let's just give you the team. Clove challengers, Roland Keto, Darren Ned, Haston Jackson, Amikel Dubiset, Javed Hazard, Kurt Murray, Samuel Charles, Deron Hippolyte, Richard Rogers, Sheldon Joseph, and Jelani George. That's Clove challengers. Nutmeg Warriors, Andrew Fletcher, Daniel McDonald, Jevon Andrew, John Olive, Enoch Toussaint, Kellis Andrew, Chris Alexander, Kyle Ramdu, Nyron Belfon, Dijon Charles, and Alex Moses. We are about to see Hassan Jackson preparing to face the first delivery. Alex Moses, Justin Moses is someone that we haven't seen much of in the tournament. Is this his first game?
Yes, I think it has to be his first game. So it's have to be seen what type of form he's carrying into the game.
So we see Nutmeg Warriors attacking with a first slip, rather deep though. And Olive right here on the third man boundary, backward point cover, mid-off. And there's a mid on. Mid wicket, short fine leg, backward square on the boundary. Just waiting for time as umpire Holas now give the green light. First delivery.
That's a good start. Look like a tight start for Moses. A delivery which slants down the leg side. So you would want to start more authoritative, especially in a final where it's tense.
Yeah, I think every player will want to play the role right. And interestingly, Justin, we continue to see the amount of bunks the bowlers are extracting, even though it's a wicket that have been played on for quite a number of days.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we've spoken about that on a number of occasions where we try to describe how well the wicket has played continuously throughout the matches so far.
Short delivery, hooked down. Let's see, over the backward square. And that's the first carriacou hit, actually cleared the fence in. A really good shot, Paul shot and lifting. And Jackson, as you see, getting...
That was a good bouncer though.
Played it well. Was not in the exact correct position, but really, as you said, probably was a good delivery, good bouncer. Good shot, lifting delivery. And with the pace, he was able to clear the backward square boundary. So the first maximum.
And the first legal delivery really. Unfortunately, the ball too has been returned. It went right across on the opposite side of the road. And Moses, as I said, well, we didn't see too much of in the previous matches or any of in the previous matches.
Pitch up and he clipped this one. This is gonna go. Let's see. It's one bounce for 4. Ball pitched up, and Jackson just eased into it and lifted it over mid wicket and pick up another boundary. Good shot.
Yes, and certainly struggling with his length, his lines there, and length to a certain extent. Moses, maybe a sign that he definitely haven't had a lot of cricket throughout the tournament so far. It is very, I think, to see a player coming in at this stage who haven't had too much cricket previously.
Pitched up and driven straight for another 4. Well, pitch up and so easy. Jackson just came forward and hit it over mid-off and picked up third boundary in the over.
So just the type of start the Clove challengers would have wanted, just to break the game open rather early and to put the pressure immediately onto the Nutmeg Warriors. And of course, he's still in the power play, so really lots of real estate out there. Can pick his spot and not afraid to go over the top because there's no real protection on the boundaries.
Just 3 legal delivery, and even though he didn't seem to hit it as he wanted, he was probably looking at it a little bit straighter. Got enough batter onto it. A short did we clip down to backward square, yet another boundary. But that was played extremely well. Short lifting on the body and inside it and just clipped it. Really good shot. Taken maybe just from over the off stump.
Well, and once again, I think it's not very good bowling. It's that type of length that gives the batsman that shot. There's no really coverage down behind there. Most of the deliveries we've seen so far, I don't think we have seen one really outside the off stump. Slanting the ball back in and again, slanting down the leg side. So really not a good over at all by Moses to start. One cannot, say that now that Jackson, we have to give Jackson credit too. He has to put them away, even if it's, what we may call a good delivery or not, and he did that. Certainly, he's doing that. In fact, the over isn't over. They finished yet. There's still 2 deliveries to go in the over. So for 3 extras, that's too much.
Pitch up and
gone
driven
again.
straight. This looks as a Carib
Maximum.
power hit. Another maximum. And ball over pitch. Given the right treatment there, it was pitched up. And as we see the replay here, nothing much. Moved across and get himself into good position. And a free swing of the bat. And went straight back for his second, third maximum in the over.
Yes, getting I want to swing back into the right hander, but again, the length almost in the slot. And Jackson, who is already seen it well, certainly had no problems in dispatching that.
So what a start. Still one legal delivery.
And
Short, and this one is cut for 4 more. And that's, let's see, Fletcher will have chase, but just stopped it. Seemingly just inside the boundary. And the batsman here going to come back, or he was going to come back for 3. And just collected 2 runs. That's slower delivery wide. And Jackson hitting it down to backward point.
Yes, maybe.
And let's see. Yeah, Fletcher just
good work. I think
good
it was
work, just
Fletcher,
saving it.
but anyway, the fielder was really good work down there. But you know, really an over that Moses will probably want to forget. At about halfway through the over, he just looked like he was trying to get through the over, and he was really torn apart by, especially by Jackson, who gathered 26 runs from the over, together with some extras.
Yeah, so that first over went for 29. We would have just seen coming off the game previously, the first over going for 27. And this one going for 29. Samuel Charles off the mark there. Looking really to pull.
So they have some pulling back to do. They'll have to put a couple good overs together.
Yeah, I think it speaks now to really sensible batting. You off with 29 from your first over. You would want to build on that. But I agree with you that Moses wouldn't want to remember that first over.
Well, Funu have had a very good tournament basically with the ball. He has been there or thereabout. He has used his variations, and I think that worked well for him throughout the tournament so far. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that as the game wears on.
Yeah, I agree with you. You had a really good tournament. Bowl well.
And there was that slow ball I'm talking about, that variation immediately into it.
So really, good comeback. You know, this over that you really want to try just to pull back things, and you have done so in 3 deliveries. So just 1 run in the over.
Sure, we want to finish strong now.
Short delivery, hit over cover, and it's going to go very close to the boundary. Goes down over the down to the boundary for 4. Good shot by Jackson here, giving himself room, as we see in the replay here. Shortest delivery, giving himself room, hitting over cover. Good positive shot there, played by Jackson. He quickly moves to 30.
Jackson there anticipating well. Now that probably would have been the pace on delivery. He was ready for it, and he played a very good shot. And there's another slow one, and that will be signal wide. Yes, by umpire George.
Belfont trying to mix it up, trying to The slower one and then the quicker one. As you said before, the delivery before was a quicker one. And Jackson used the pace of it, full advantage. Pitch up.
That's the slower one now. And
that would have passed probably between the legs, between the stump and
the batter,
his body.
Yes. Looking to come down the track, probably picking the slower one a little bit late, and I'll be literally trying to come down the track, and it'll probably, if anything, a little movement into him. He didn't make contact, so.
Slow ball.
Slow ball again, but maybe that missing leg stump. One could see it almost drifting down the leg side. But a very good over, anyway, by Belfont, using all his experience and all his guile there to ensure that he keep it quiet. So at the end of it, 35 without loss. 2 overs gone.
Yeah, very good over by Belfont. Only went for 6 in that over. But what you would have seen really, as you said, is guile in terms of the slower deliveries. Probably last 3 deliveries have been slow one. And Jackson, they're looking to swing that last delivery somewhere over mid-wicket. Making no contact. Seattle discussion with the umpires. But really, Belfont was done really well to pull it back after the first over. Moses going for 29. And he was able to pull it back. Just 6 in the over. So 35. And he knocked 2 Saint. Pick up the attack from that northern end.
One expected that probably the skipper, Andre Fletcher, would not have been brave enough to give another over to Moses. He looked really all over the place, not good line, not good control. And went after going for 27. Not surprised that the change has come about. And to Saint who have had mixed returns, but fairly good tournament so far into the attack.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Young player that has shown a lot of talent. As you see, just a bit of cloud cover. One hopes just in that it's going to blow away. Important final, Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. The 5th edition. Hit straight, lovely shot. And that goes for a carry power hit maximum. Ball pitched up. And given the right treatment, beautiful shot by Samuel Charles.
Yeah, Samuel Charles, they're getting into the act, following in the approach of Jackson, and one can really see that that the Clove challengers have come out with a really positive intent. Of course, it's a finals, and then you have to probably play out of your skin if you are going to come out on top in this final.
Yeah, that was well played by Samuel Charles in the slot. So he had to come forward and he lifted it. Again, went for a huge 6.
So pressure on to Saint immediately. Second ball.
.41, and we are into the 3rd over. Pitch up again. I think what he did was hit across this one. I made no contact.
We've seen Samuel Charles in earlier matches just look to anchor the innings to a certain extent, and but it's a totally different frame mindset seem to have come out in this final.
Yeah, a lot of movements on the field as Moses coming from backward square. Pitch up again, driven.
So the captain sending a message to the bowler we pack the offside field and we expect you to ask the batters to hit in that area.
Yeah, I just, said before, speaking to Pastor Warm, it probably would go down to strategy, form of strategy and approach. And we have seen here the offside field is really packed. As you look at it here, White Toad Man, backward point fine, and then there's still a square cover in Fletcher. There's a cover, extra cover, and there's a long off. So 6 fielders on the offside. So it's very clear in terms of what he needs to do. Left side, and it goes for 4. Short, and clip down to backward square, which is vacant. And again, Samuel picking up a boundary there. Just strain a bit there. Well, not necessarily strain, but he moved across and played it down to backward square for 4.
Just didn't have the control to do it again, to keep it outside the off stump where he had all the support. And of course, this type of bowling you can't really set a field for, because the captain has, given you what he thinks, is right to establish some control, but of course, not dealing with machines, It's been a bit short and been taken away. So 42 or 46 without loss. And Aston Jackson is on 34. Samuel Charles is on 8. And we've seen 3 overs gone. And Fletcher has gone for his experience. Charles is overseas player.
And we expect Charles coming on really would be, he really going to be looking to really use a lot of variation. We know that he brings the ball back into the right-handed batsman. It really would call for no experience now in terms of bowling, because they do need to pull it back. It's 3 overs, 46, scoring at 15.33. And again, Charles Jackson. Charles here down the track. Even before the delivery has been delivered.
Yes, but far too early, and Charles seen that, just pulled back the length and pushed it a bit outside the off stump, and Charles did look quite a bit ungainly trying to reach it.
You just had to be careful here. Susan Charles have been short delivery and hit down to point, and that goes all the way for carry power hit. Short delivery. And he really got into this one and lifted it nicely. And it went way over the backward point. There was a fielder on the boundary. Really had no chance. And I had to look at this one go over his head. And that brings up the 50 Clove challengers. 52 into the 4th over. Probably the best opening stand they had for the tournament.
Yes, and
even the rate of scoring.
Yes, and Charles Paul really anticipated again that probably anticipated that Dujon Charles will probably go short and wide again, and he was really ready. He climbed into it. It was high and it was outside the off stump, and he really climbed into it and hit it hard down behind point. And this time looking to pull, and probably not getting hold of it as cleanly as he wanted. But picks up another single. So Samuel Charles goes to 15, and Heston Jackson comes back on strike. He's on 34 from 13.
Yeah, the sun comes back out. Really, lots of just continue to look at pitch up and clip for 6. Another carb maximum. What a superb shot. This was all about timing there from Hassan Jackson. Slow delivery, pitched up, and he just clipped it, and it sailed over mid-wicket.
Yeah, and a lot of wrist involved. It was probably picked up just about middle and off, and it went over square leg, over well square. The right of mid wicket, and he went away for the carry power maximum. And well, Jackson has certainly left the best of the action that he has to offer for last. It's probably the best we have seen from him so far in the total. And what a time in the tournament.
So
and when you're doing it in the final, what a time to do it.
Most definitely. We have seen a continuation of what we saw the second innings of that first game, Ginger Generals, with the batsmen really taking advantage of the bowlers. No, 16, and we're still in the fourth over. So really the batters would have really been taking some advantage. We had some quick start. But Clove Challengers is probably setting this other platform that should propel them to a very good score. Hit down. Formally struck down to long off. Jackson 41 from 15.
Yes, that performance so far by the openers. We need some sunlight, and certainly it's fitting out into a beautiful evening. Of course, the focus was for some rain this morning, maybe a little bit more rain, and later in the evening, later towards the night, some thunderstorm associated with the tropical wave, which is approaching the region.
So 61 without loss after 4. And Charles going for 15 in that over. You see a lot of movements by the captain Fletcher. Really trying to marshal his troops. He's now going to take up the attack. Captain. Is he going to be bowling to his his very close friend, very close friend, Samuel Charles. He would have known everything about Samuel Charles. Short delivery, hit down to long on. That goes for another carriacou hit. Short delivery, and there was no difficulty there in the batsman, not Jackson rather. Just coming back and hit it straight over long on.
Is it a panic move by Andre Fletcher to come on himself? Really things haven't gone well for the openers. And off the top of the bat, and there may be a chance for a catch, but no, can't. It falls. It has fallen in no man's land. And can't say it's a chance go up again. It came off the top edge and it went high down towards the backward square. And 3 fielders converted, and none of them could have gotten to it. So, two more to Jackson. He goes to 49 and is nearing a half century, and that probably will come now. I think. So a 50 it is to Jackson.
Yeah, tremendous knock. I think it's first 50 at the tournament. But what a time it come in the finals. And he's 18 deliveries. Charles, again looking to pull this one, comes off the edge.
Yes, and not taking. So a chance there. And of course, Nutmeg Warriors need a wicket. I mean, they need probably 1, 2, probably 3 wickets quickly.
Short delivery and play to cover. One of the quicker ones from Fletcher. You have the tendency to shuttle link and quick.
72 for no loss. We're nearing the end of over number 5.
Pitch up again. He's looking for a big swing there. Samuel Charles. And they would have known each other very, very well. And the ball coming off of the pad. So Clove challengers, after 5 overs, they are 72 without loss. And we really had tremendous opening by Clove challengers, both Jackson and Charles. We have seen Jackson reach 18 deliveries. And certainly the sort of start I think the Clove challenge will be happy with. Samuel Charles 16 from 11, Jackson 51 from 19, and Fletcher in his first over going for 11. Certainly an impressive start by Clove challengers.
Very great start. You can't ask for a better start than this. Just 5 overs completed, 72 runs on the board. Charles is 16 of 11, and gosh, Jackson has galloped to 51 of 19. Good, solid power hitting.
It could very well be the fastest 50 of the tournament. Just taking 18 deliveries. So we're going to see Moses coming from the southern end. Moses going for 29 in his first over.
That was really expensive.
Yeah, and it's really difficult when you have an opening that goes for so much for the team to come back. This one hit down to cover, and that race across the surface for 4. Shortest in length, and he was back and crashed it through the covers and rushed down to the boundary for 4. Jackson again.
Yeah, it was short and it was wide, and Jackson was off the back foot. Now he had to sort of fetch it, so to speak, had to reach for it, and in doing so freed the arms and went down to square cover. Really went quickly. 4.
Hit straight down to a note. He's going to it's dropped, but I do believe that he would have, it was over the boundary, and certainly if he would have taken it there, it would have been 6, and that's Andrew Fletcher.
Yeah, you can't really fault him. Let's look at it again. Hit down to long on, traveling, and is threatening to go over. Fletcher made a big leap at it. Got hands. Well, got a hand to it rather. And even if he had taken the catch, I think the momentum would have taken the ball and maybe himself over the boundary.
So 83 without loss. And certainly Nutmeg Warriors really have been hit with a sort of opening I don't think they expected.
Oh, they're shocked. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but I think they're shocked. Didn't expect these two to be going so hard.
Yeah,
and they've done it with great effectiveness.
Yeah, I was saying it's very difficult when you bowl your opening over for 29 and you have to sort of play catch up. It gives the batting team the sort of platform and the momentum to continue going. Hit this one, hit down to square leg for another 4. Again, ball coming into the batsman there. This is Samuel Charles. And that ball going down to backward square for 4.
Yeah, I think he wanted to hit that straighter, you know. But got it more to the bottom part of the bat and it went down to backward square. And it really doesn't matter how it comes, but how effective is it is really. And I think the aim was to go beyond the boundary, and he did so.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you were looking to hit more mid wicket.
Yeah.
The ball came in, having to reach for it also, and taking the edge and go down to backward square.
They could get up to 150 odd if they keep going like this.
Well, we have been talking a lot about 150. I would think that teams that we felt were in really good position to get there just seem to have folded in the end.
Yeah, whether they can continue with the momentum that they have here now, and get up to 150, we'll have to wait and see. It's not always the easiest thing to do. Yeah, it's like driving a car and your foot is on the accelerator. 6 overs gone, 87 without loss. But sometimes when you reach maybe a corner or a rugged area of the road, when you just have to decelerate, I'm sure, however, that the Clove challengers don't want to slow down at all. They just want to keep their foot on the pedal. They want to stretch this as far and as fast as possible. 150 is within the making, but can they keep that momentum going? The next 4 overs, we'll see.
Well, it's interesting you use the analogy, but certainly they will have to slow down at time as you driving a car. You will always have to slow down. And that again is very good running. Ball played to mid-wicket. Again, Jackson hitting to mid-wicket.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive in their approach. Not just ball hitting, but the fact that they're turning 1 into 2s, that makes it even more impressive.
Pitched up.
It'll be interesting to see whether we'll have the first 100 partnership in the tournament. It will be the second.
Will be the second.
Yeah.
I think we had a stand up for 116.
Pulled out to deep square leg. They got a single. Everybody has been busy out there. All the fielders have been busy. And the bowlers, the batsmen. Maybe the bad throw, really bad cricket there. And they will come back for the second. Fletcher did make a good stop, but his return to the keeper was wide, not good. And they got 2 more. Talking about everybody busy out there, maybe with the exception of the umpires. But they've got to be busy in their own rights too, Rico.
Yes, certainly, I agree. Fletcher really looking to get that ball in as quickly as possible, off balance. He sent it wide of the keeper. This hits through it. Good feeling on the boundary there. So we have seen that they probably reach a corner now, that they have to slow down a bit. It's really half slowed. Just referring to the analogy that you suggested.
Yes, it's not always easy to go helter-skelter. Wrapped on the pad. You heard that there was a nick onto that. Fletcher's been, in his bowling, he's been mixing it up. He's been bowling some of them at medium pace. 7 overs gone, 94 without loss.
Yeah, well, he did well, completing his 2 overs. He went for 18. And certainly under the conditions here, bowlers being hit all around. Now we...
Okay, so I think we missed that. Yeah, we missed that dismissal. We'll try to see what... Okay, so it wasn't a dismissal, was it? Maybe it might be a retired out.
Yes, and it can very well be. Certain that last delivery didn't look anyway.
Yeah, we all confused for a while. Here's Belfont.
And this is hit down to long on a huge one. Another carry power hit maximum. Belfont, this pitching is one up slightly.
And what a wonderful way to bring up the 100. with a massive hit, big six over long on. 100 posted in the first delivery of the 8th over. Big blow. Off the back foot and cuts that down to the cover area. They get one. So net has come out, and I think it's a situation where they may be retired out on the part of Samuel Charles. That's what we would make of it.
So we see some strategy being used here, and I think Clove challengers will be going really all out, blazing here, making sure that they have their attacking player in. They will want to take as much as possible in the last 3 overs. They're really in a good position, not losing all the wickets. Jackson 75 from 28, so he's going pretty close to be making the highest individual score in the tournament.
They've been 6 wide so far, Refill, and that has not helped the Nutmeg Warriors. Bowled him, played all over and around it. And so Darren Ed goes without scoring. Whether the strategy has backfired, well, we'll have to wait and see. But he was giving himself room, really pulling the front leg out of the way, looking to hit that over mid-wicket. Did not make contact, but what we can tell you is that the ball made contact with the stumps. And so net goes without scoring, uncharacteristic of him, but that's the game of cricket. And the Clove challengers, they're 102 for 2.
Yeah, all credit there to Belfon, who has not bowled badly. And Ned looking to hit across. And it was also a slower delivery. So it was good thinking by Belfon. He would have been better advised to try to hit straight. So Belfon has picked up 1 for 14 in his second over.
The run rate has dropped slightly. It's now dropped to 13. Now here is where Nutmeg Warriors would want to just plug away and bring that run rate to about 12. It is a very critical time in the game. Wayward delivery outside the off stump, confirmed wide by the umpire with arms extended as a bird in preparation for flight. Extras have now been pushed up to 7. All 7 wides are extras. Over number 8 in progress here. So Belfon 1 for 15 so far into his second. That was outside the off stump, maybe within that line that guides the umpire. So it wasn't called a wide.
It was a slow delivery, and Hazard again looking to hit across it, looking to swing. Probably would be better advised to hit straight. Good thinking by Belfon.
No, that's in the air.
Maximum, another carry power hit. Really pitched up, and he's really swung into this one.
And the crowd down there, maybe seeking to take evasive action. But in the end, a couple of them went after it just to retrieve, to send it back. Yes. Several of the spectators, they're alert, took evasive action.
We have quite a gathering here at Lassiter's playing field. Tremendous support. And there's an appeal for run out there. Ball hit to cover. And it just seems as though coming back just seem to hit the stump directly. But we will see. The umpire has called for the replay.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting here. As bodies were scampering all over. Batsman trying desperately to get into the crease.
But there's quite a gathering to witness this final as we look out there. Person seated to the far end, both to what we can call long off and long on. And there's quite a bit of persons just outside the pavilion.
Yeah, nice crowd.
And he's given out run out. And Hazard, once again, is given run out. Had some unfortunate out. One remembers him pulling out a delivery and being given out stumped.
Yeah, Oliver's just in a very nice sportsman-like, just tapped him on his back on his way out, as if to say hard luck. But that's what the game is all about. There are different modes of dismissals, and run out is one of those authentic modes of dismissals. Yeah, short of his ground. 109 for 2, 8 overs gone, 2 overs to go.
Yeah, so we see some change of strategy from Clove challengers in terms of the batting. And really hasn't paid off much. We saw Samuel Charles just return, maybe just to let the ball strikers really come in. Ned didn't last long, and Hazard, although he being able to hit a maximum, also didn't last too long.
Well, you're wondering, Reefel, because he wasn't going at breakneck speed, at a frenzied pace, but the thing is that he's already inside there and should have been a bit set.
Well, he
could have gone anyway.
Well, he caught us by surprise here. We wasn't sure what was happening. This one is hit down the long on the fielder coming around, takes the catch, and once again Cato goes. First delivery.
I really feel it for Roland Cato. I really do, because he's such a fine player, and the stats of this tournament really would not reflect what a good player he is. Came out, and the requirement obviously was to go hard, and certainly intended to do that, but found the fielder on the boundary, and so he has to go without scoring. Dismal.
So probably, as we look at it, maybe the strategy that was used really was not the best. I think they were really going well. And to see the pitch now, and that ball was pitched up in the slot. He hit across it, where we probably should have been looking to hit straight. But the strategy somehow doesn't seem to work as they expected it to. Again, we see everybody swinging across the line. And again, you look at the batting of Jackson. Jackson's 75 from 28. And I thought that they were really traveling.
Yeah, just
we was kind of surprised by even the move to have Samuel retire.
Yeah.
But we quickly...
The run rate was very good. Jackson was really motoring on. Well, Samuel wasn't necessarily going at fast, very, very quick speed, but still was effective. They're going to go for a single. Has a charge at the keeper's end. They get the single in the end without any danger. Jackson, 75 of 28. And with just under 2 overs to go, of course, the question would be whether he could get close to 100. It'll be a difficult assignment now. But this has been a fine knock, an authoritative knock, business-like. He takes strike now from Toussaint. So much happens out there. Of course, especially at this point, fielders and batsmen, they've got to maintain the composure, Ripple. You can't allow the excitement of the game to dominate you to the point where you underachieve and where you perform erratically. Those who hold their nerve steadily tend to do better.
So we see Toussaint coming back here and picking up a wicket. Really, again, it has been a good spell. But Clove, Nutmeg Warriors, I think, would have really come back.
I think
probably the last 3 overs have been good. Picked up a couple of wickets. Picked up 3 wickets. And really would have pulled things back. As you always say, maybe sometimes not how you start, but how you finish. We see now that Clove Challenge are really coming back strongly. Score 112 and we are 9th over almost completed.
yes, just 2 more deliveries for the end of the 9th over. And early on, with the rate with which they were going, suggested that they will get up to 140 thereabout. But a couple of wickets can stem the flow and the rapidity of runs. Tugged down to mid wicket. They've gone for 1. They're going to come back for the second quite comfortably as the return comes into the bowler's end. Make easy return. They get 2. So 9 overs gone. 114 for 3. They've got 1 over remaining. Can they make this a big over that can bring it to about 130? If they do, then they would feel that they've set the sort of score that they can defend.
Yeah, but all credit to Nutmeg Warriors. They have come back strongly. I remember in that the first over went for 29 and the second over 15. So in 2 overs, they were 44. It tells you how fast Clove challengers were traveling. But as you said, they could not have continued. I think added to that in terms of the strategy that was used, really would have, put some extra pressure. Now they're into the final over.
Yes, Fletcher is marshalling his forces out there like a captain, like a general in the army, speaking, sure everybody is positioned exactly where he wants them.
Charles went for 15 in his first over. And he does have some experience coming into this final over. Maurice in strike.
What?
Wide set, confirmed back the umpire.
Jackson will be really looking to get a strike. He's 78. He has now tied with Charles as the highest individual score.
Hippolyte will have to think about giving Jackson the strike. Maybe just turn it over and get a single. Not necessarily have to think about a boundary. If it comes, yes, go for it. But get Jackson. He's seen the ball big as a proverbial breadfruit. But if they're wide like that and you get in the extra balls, then you don't have much to worry about. Charles not bowling wicket to wicket. Maybe just wants the batsman to reach for it. Doesn't want to bowl it in the slot, that's for sure. Because Hippolyte is going to go with it. Shy at the stumps, missed it. If he had hit that, Andrew certainly would have been out. By signaled by the umpire. They get 1. So Jackson comes into strike. I think Charles would be a bit disappointed. He has had a couple of wides in this over. The final one. Fletcher's just slowed things down. And that's good. As a captain, you've got to make sure that your players are not overly excited. Calm their nerves down and get them to perform as you would like them to.
Yeah, and I think it honestly did it well, because there was one time when you felt, and I think you made mention of it in terms of, they were shocked. They looked certainly in awe. I think when with the batting of Jackson and Charles, with the flurry of runs that was scored in the first few overs, and you know, you could see Fletcher as a captain would stand and just sometimes wondering what will happen next. But they have come back strongly, and at 117, they still Clove challengers look pressed to get 130.
Yes, very much. Jackson seeking to belt that over mid-wicket. Jean Charles having a big responsibility on his shoulders rather, to make this a featured over, a very good one. Back of a length and had a bit of height attached to it. Andrew collects behind the stumps. So far, so good. 3 deliveries. Couple of wides, yes. But none has gone to the boundary so far.
It has been a good over. Jackson really making all efforts.
In the air.
High in the air. And the third man is running back and goes down to the boundary for 4.
Goes all the way. That's not where he wanted to hit it, but it came off the high portion of the bat, top portion of the bat, and the outer edge. Flew down to third man, and it went all the way for 4. So, important boundary here for Jackson, who has gone to 82 of only 33. We're in over number 10. 2 more deliveries to go. There's an appeal for caught behind. Gone. Yes, gone. Got a nick onto it. Short delivery. Looking to belt it maybe through. Yeah, maybe over the bowler's head. Got a nick. Andrew went up behind the stumps in jubilation. The umpire's finger, the fatal left index finger, went up too. And so another wicket has fallen for Clove challengers. They're now 121 for 4 with 1 delivery remaining.
Yeah, tremendous knock there by Jackson. As we look at the scorecard, really that was the mainstay in terms of the batting of Clove challengers. Just one player that actually came off, 82 out of 121, and really played a very, very good inning. And somewhat at one time just seemed to be starved of getting the ball in. And sometimes when those things happen, you know, he put you in a sort of stalemate position where you had to start over. But he was really flowing. And after reaching 75, and it stayed a while before he really would have received a number of deliveries.
Yes.
And he had no choice in the 10th over, looking to hit out of the ground. And taking an edge and taking behind the stumps.
So they get a single?
Yeah, taking a bidey from the last delivery. And Clove challengers closing at 122 for 5. But certainly, Stevenson, the start they had, I still think they will be disappointed with the score that they end up with.
Yeah, they would have. I'm sure that they might have been thinking about 140. The rapidity with which they were going early on in the innings, maybe after 3 overs, 2 or 3 overs, they were certainly heading up to about the 150 mark. And it would have been extraordinary if they could continue with that throughout the innings, the same sort of rapid pace with consistency. They didn't fell apart a bit, but quite frankly, with a run rate of 12.20, it's going to be a tall asking for the Nutmeg Warriors to get there in 10. It's not out of their reach, but I think it's a pretty good working total for the Clove Challengers to use against the Nutmeg Warriors.
So who do you think would be in the best position after the first half of this game?
I think you're going to look and see what happens after the first 5 overs coming up. That total, 122, is not a massive total, but a good working one. Moses, none for 44 of 2, very expensive. Belfont had 1 for 21 of 2. Enoch Toussaint 1 for 14 of 2. He bowled really well indeed. Charles bowled a very good final over, 1 for 22 of 2. And Andre Fletcher also pretty good, went for 18 of 2. 122 for 4, the total 122 for 4. Just looking at the batting scorecard, Jackson played a very important role and batted so very well for 82. Samuel Charles retired out for 21, 16 balls. One question whether that was the right move. Ned went without scoring, just a 1 ball he faced. Hazard was run out by Alex Moses for 6. Cato had a first ball duck. What a miserable series he has had. Darren Hippolyte not out, no score, though he faced 4 deliveries, and Sheldon Joseph not out 1. So a total of 122 for 4. And don't forget, they were really traveling along at the end of 3. They were around 54, I think it was, thereabout. And that tells you how quickly they got off the mark, but just may have held up in the second half of the innings. The last 5 or so overs, not as healthy as the first 5.
Yeah, you're so right. That 5 overs was 72 without loss. So we tell you the last 5 overs, it didn't score as quickly as one would have expected. And I think credit to Nutmeg Warriors, they came back strongly to be able to have them score 122 in the 10 overs.
So Clove Challengers 122 for 4 of 10. The Nutmeg Warriors would need just 1 more than that to really to seal a victory here. Now, can they do that? We would never know, and I'm not even sure if they know themselves whether they can pull it off. I think the match is nicely poised at this moment, sort of even Stevens here. We'll wait to see whether Nutmeg Warriors can get to 123 for victory. We'll be back for the run chase. And welcome back here at the Latsages playing field for the second half of this very nicely poised match. Nutmeg Warriors, they need 123 of 10, so they need to score at 12.30 runs per over to eclipse this total of 122. So, Clove challengers 122 for 5. And here is the run chase. So, the Nutmeg pair are out. This is going to be an interesting match. We'll wait to see what the run chase is going to be like. McDonald will be opening the batting with Andre Fletcher. Pretty decent crowd on hand to witness this. Who is going to be triumphant? We'll have to wait and see. And we'll have to wait either 10 overs or under 10 to see who will be crowned champion of this 10-10 tournament. Here is the first delivery. One that is right on target by Jackson. Turned out on the onside.
So we have seen also there's a change in terms of the tactics being used, opening the batting, McDonald. Not too sure we have seen it open before. But Charles, who has done very well at the top of the order.
There's an appeal for caught behind, diving catch there by Charles behind the stumps. He's taken it. And so, Nutmeg Warriors, they've lost their first. Into the first over. Let's look at it. Looking to pull. And going across. Low catch. But the catch taken. And so Nutmeg Warriors, they've lost their first.
Yeah, good blow struck by Jackson. Ball. I don't think it was short enough for the shot that you were looking to play. Just took the edge, and the keeper accepting the catch. A good start, picking up wicket in this just his second delivery.
So McDonald goes without scoring. Javon Andrew comes out to replace the fallen McDonald, and Jackson, who's had a fantastic match so far, moves in to bowl to Andrew. Andrew is off the back foot, pulls, gets it to mid-wicket. He had to really stretch at the non-striker's end as the return came in very quickly, but he put on his running shoes and got there. Stumps were missed, however. So Nutmeg Warriors off the mark. This is the first over. Here's a delivery that is slapped back past the bowler. There is an appeal for run out. They all seem jubilant. Now that will be interesting. That really would be interesting. They seem confident, Rifle.
Yeah, seem pretty confident. And that's a would be a big blow if Charles would have failed to make his ground. But again, a shortish delivery, and Charles looking to pull. It went down to mid-off. It didn't come off the bat with any pace. And therefore, a good throw to the non-striker's end.
Oh, they look sharp, don't they? The umpire ruling not out.
Yeah, just in,
Got
just
there.
in. Good decision.
Not, and no need to really go upstairs. Jackson to Andrew.
Lovely shot. And they hit this one over mid-off. Extra cover drive ball, pitched up. And Andrew really moved nicely into this one and stroke it over that extra cover region and pick up 4.
Beautiful follow through. Yes, look how nice he hit it. Elbow. That was picture perfect. Lovely shot. Well hit. Can he play an important innings here? Once more, Jackson to Andrew. Oh, that was an aggressive one. Short, rising. And, well, Andrew had to get out of the way, and he did so by genuflecting. Ball taken behind the stumps by the keeper. The over comes to an end. 1 over gone. 6 runs on the board, and a wicket has fallen.
Yeah, good quick delivery, final delivery from Jackson in that over. And Andrew having to take evasive action. But good over, first over, just 6 on the board. We'll be satisfied with that first over and picking up 1 wicket. One remembers Clove Challengers got 29 off their first over. As we continue to see, it's not how you start, how you finish.
Yeah, you're sure right. Michael Dubisset will be picking it up from the far end, the northern end. That's the end he has predominantly bowled from. May have bowled from the southern end, can't quite remember, but he's generally bowled from the northern end. It's going to be moving into bowl to Charles. To John Charles and Samuel Charles standing up.
Yeah, and Charles had I would think a good tournament. He has really is on the third in terms of number of runs scored, 243, at the highest of 78. I think he also would have hit 26 sixes.
Yeah, so he's right up there. This is an important innings for him and for his team. Ball pulled to forward square. They've been sharp, Clove Challengers, so far. Not wilting under the pressure. So it's a quiet start. The run rate required at this moment, 13.38, which means that they need to have a couple of big overs to maintain that 13 runs per over throughout the innings. Won't be easy. Dubisset into Andrew. Gets a wide outside the off stump.
I think the fact that Charles is standing up is putting some extra pressure on both batters in that they're not prepared to take more chances. As we see there, Andrew looking to drive, but making sure that he doesn't leave his crease.
Catch taken. Well, it's been a bit of a juggle. Good catch by Charles. Standing up. Now, that's a magnificent catch. I'll tell you why. Because if it takes the edge of it and you're standing up, you've got very little moment to make much adjustment. And that was a bit of an on the edge. Went on to his pad, then bubbled up and still had the consistency and frame of mind to take the catch, took it with the right glove, and they've got another victim. So Nutmeg Warriors now 8 for 2.
Yeah, very good catch taken there by Samuel Charles. Standing up to a medium pace is not very easy. And that ball coming off the bat, as we have seen replay there, it hit his thigh. You can see him bouncing the thigh here and coming up. And he was quick to be able to turn around and to take the catch. Really good reflexes and good work. And another really important blue stroke there by Clove Challengers. They picked up 2 early wickets.
I was in fact about to say when we talked about him standing up, the disadvantage is that if you get an edge and it deflects, it's not easy for him to take the catch. But he took that one by a bit of luck, admittedly, but great work, great work. Still steadied himself, did not panic, and pulled off, in my opinion, a very good catch. So Ramdu in Dubiset hits it hard into the ground.
Well, it goes down to the boundary for 4.
And goes down to the boundary for 4. Well, it didn't look like going there, first delivery up, but he hit it hard into the ground and sped off. Let's look at it again. Yes, and then went very quickly across the turf for 4. That should do his confidence well with the first delivery that he has faced. Nutmeg Warriors, they've gone into double figures. This is a very important match. It's the final to be set. Bowls. Hit and is out caught. Well, the wickets are falling. They're tumbling. They're going in quick succession. Here was Ramdu driving it back. And the catch taken there at, is it cover area? Yes. And so another wicket has gone. Wow. Nutmeg Warriors, they're in deep trouble here at 12 for 3 in over number 2.
Yeah, wasn't it the pitch of that delivery there? Actually hit it on the up. And the fielder coming in there on Hippolyte actually went low to his right, and he came up with a really good catch. And really another blow struck there. Warriors 12 for 3, not a sort of start that they would have expected. It's now we see the advent of Andrew Fletcher, and this really would be a key partnership. This partnership will really determine what direction the game goes. Dubiset picking up 2 for 6 in his first over.
Yeah, his tail is up now. Deserved 2 for 6.
Will be required to play that sort of captain's inning.
He doesn't have much time to get his eyes in. The required run rate is just a little notch under 4. It's 13.59. So quite frankly, it's going to be a Herculean task. Fletcher gets off the back foot and gets a single. And it has to be a combination of bravery and luck for the Warriors to pull this off. Not a good start. 2 overs gone, 13 for 3. The scoreboard is a sorry sight at this point.
But a good start for the Clove Challengers. But I hasten to say that there's quite a lot. These 2 players at the wicket is players that really has the ability to turn things around very, very quickly. Clove Challengers will have to maintain the pressure and good line and length bowling for these 2 players that is at the wicket. Both really punishing players and really could turn the tide very quickly. It's all made for interesting game from here. It will be interesting to see the tactics that Fletcher uses. I don't think there's any need to panic, but they will just have to bat sensibly, put themselves in a position with it up the run rate And then one never know what can happen in the last few overs.
Fletcher comes forward with the first delivery he faces from Jackson. Pushes it up on the onside.
Fletcher has scored 162 runs in the tournament. He had 9 innings, a top score of 60. And he will be required really to even to get up to that mark.
Yeah. Jackson again. What a phenomenal match he's had so far. Turned up to mid-wicket and the Ambler single. Whatever the case is, challengers, they've made 3 kills already in relatively quick succession. Can they continue their sequence of kills to push the Nutmeg Warriors further on the back foot? Well, we'll see. Jackson, 1 for 7, moves in to bowl to Charles. Turns it neatly through mid-wicket, and they get a comfortable single. Of course, you'll need much more than those meandering singles to get up to that impressive total. Still 108 needed in just 45 deliveries. To get there, there must be a lot of boundary hitting.
So Charles now 246 runs scored in 3rd position. Probably will look to get into 2nd. We have Darren Ned 252 and has a top score of 54. Charles top score of 78. So he could very well end up to be probably 2nd in terms of the high score.
It's got the stage is set for him to do something special today, though. Won't get there by playing so defensively.
Well, it's good to see that Fletcher is very circumspect. I think he knows the challenge, what is ahead, and probably he knows his responsibility, and really wouldn't want to give it away, but really play a good captain's in.
Yeah, but if one falls, it will be the cut among the pigeons. Pulls down to the deep mid-wicket boundary, and they get a single. It's going to take more than these ambling singles. The over comes to an end. 3 overs gone, and it's 16 for 3. The required run rate has plummeted. Has really gone up, rather, to 15.29. Soars to 15.29.
Yeah, and the sun comes out brightly here at Lassages. And really a big gathering we have on the outside. And see Parsons really taking the opportunity here this afternoon for this final in the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. Really is a picture of sight as we look around the field.
Yeah, a number of the players have, their families have come to look at them also, friends, relatives. And then there are those who just love the sport, whether they have any family member playing or not, they would come to look at the game. But I think it's a wonderful setting for a great final here between Clove Challengers and Warriors, Nutmeg Warriors. Here is a new over, hit down to a squarish cover position, gets a single. Charles is 3 of 4. Fletcher is 4 of 7. Field changing over to accommodate the left-handed Charles. Who has a big heaver. That one takes the on the edge and goes down behind the keeper. And they scamper a single. But Dubisset and Jackson have really put the pressure on the Nutmeg Warriors, and the captain can't ask better of them. They're into over number 4. These two bowled unchanged. Dubisset to Fletcher. They go through for a single. Fletcher looking to hit that over mid wicket. Doesn't make contact, did he? Well, the umpire, yeah, I might have gotten a nick onto that one. Left-handed Charles comes into strike. Umpire going on the other side at square leg. Wide delivery outside the off stump. Bowled by Dubisset, whose control has been pretty good.
Yeah, at the moment, pick up in the second over 2 for 11. And, yeah, probably both batters may be looking to make sure that they play off these Dubisset. This one is hit down to cover and dropped. What a bad miss there. Ball hit straight down to the cover fielder. Let's see. He got both hands to it. Let's see.
Yeah, should have taken the catch.
Yeah, quite a bad miss there. That's Dwayne Walcott. Fletcher is hitting this one down to long on, over long on. And the first carry power hit. The long on fielder moving to his right, just couldn't get a hand to it. But you have seen the first maximum for the inning, 27 for 3.
Good shot by Fletcher, really. You'll get just a single for that one. But this is where, with the run rate up to 15, 4 overs gone, this is where they've got to now say, do or die.
Yes, well, we know we're going to have a change because we did have Jackson bowling 2, and then Dubisset taking 2 for 19 in his 2 overs. So it's left to see who is going to pick up the attack from this southern end, and seem to be Walcott. We'll want to make up for that catch drop. We'll wait to see how expensive it is with that catch that have been dropped, because certainly you are dropped. That's a key player for the Nutmeg Warriors. Joseph.
So there is a buzz around the ground. Of course,
Yeah.
there are all sorts of discussions. And the Warriors would be saying to Fletcher and Charles, it's time to open up your arms.
Yeah, there's tremendous support around, and it seems as though Nutmeg Warriors really would be the team that probably have more support.
Sheldon Joseph from the southern end will get ready to bowl to Fletcher. Let's look at this matchup. First delivery. Fletcher is off the back foot. It's down to Cato. Ball traveling quickly, but not able to pierce the field. The run rate required. Climbing all the time. It's gone up to 16. Joseph takes his time. Just trying to be as composed as possible. The umpire looked back as if to say, hey, come on, let's get on with the game. Started, then aborted it because Fletcher was not looking up. Gets in and turns it down to the backward square area. That's going to go all the way for 4. Walked into the shot, did Fletcher. And got a lot of bottom man into it. And turned it neatly to the backward square area to the right of the square leg umpire. And got 4.
Yeah, picked up the gap there. You're looking at it a bit straighter. And as the ball came into him on the inside half of the bat and going down to mid-wicket.
Yeah, Jackson had to cover a lot of ground to his right, about 20-25 yards. Good response there by Joseph. Short rising delivery. 32 for 3. Over number 5. Almost the halfway mark. Still a lot of interest in this game. Fletcher swings hard, but could get it this time down to Joseph, who doesn't have to make the sort of coverage as a couple of deliveries before. Hurls the return to the not striker's end. They get 1. All the 3s on the board. Brings the John Charles into strike. The left-hander. One of these 2 players got to get going. Or both. Wayward delivery. Wide outside the off stump. Joseph just trying to keep it out of the reach of Charles, but sprayed it too wide.
Yeah, one just sensing that something big is going to happen. These 2 players probably just waiting for the right time. Although there's not much much time remaining, there's not much deliveries remaining. Just about 32 deliveries. But both players are explosive, and this one goes. And that's for 4. Short delivery, and Charles was able to get on top of it.
Yeah, he moved down a little, then was dropped short by Joseph. Then it stood up, and he swung it nicely through mid-wicket for 4. Good shot. But they would need several more like those, Refill.
He would probably need to get it over the ropes. 38 for 3. Nutmeg Warriors need to get 123 for victory.
They get a single off the last over, the last delivery rather. So 11 runs coming off that Joseph's over. I would think still about 3 or 4 runs short of what they would have liked to come off Joseph's over. 5 overs gone and dusted. We're at the halfway stage. And the Clove challengers, they're in the ascendancy here with Nutmeg Warriors 39 for 3.
Yeah, Warriors need a further 84 runs in 30 deliveries. Match at a really interesting stage. 2 of the top players, the better batters, the better strikers of the cricket ball at the wicket. So despite Clove challengers probably having the upper hand at this moment, These players that is there really do have the ability to turn it around rather quickly. So there's a lot to play for. This game is far from over. Fletcher 17 from 14. And Charles, a bit on the slow side, but credit to the bowlers of Clove Challenger. They haven't given much away. Charles 10 from 8.
This has to be a big over for Nutmeg Warriors.
The spin off court, Murray hit down to long on. And there goes a huge hit there by Charles. Maximum. And
I did say, Rafael, it's got to be a big over. Well, that's just one. They will need several of those. In my estimation, there's a need of about 16 from this one to have it manageable. But what a great performance so far from Clove Challengers. I think they're in the ascendancy here. I know it can turn around because that's cricket. The old adage of a game of glorious uncertainties. Yeah, that's been proven over and over, again and again. And today might not be an exception. Who knows? But with the halfway stage already there, and Nutmeg Warriors are not quite close to the halfway to the target at 45 for 3. It will take a bit of hitting to get past that very important total.
So we have seen Charles just taking the lead in terms of 6 hitting. He has hit some 27 sixes. And I could tell you just in terms of the amount of sixes hit, this one is hit. Where does this one go? Easily for another maximum, another 6. And this is the power of these players. Charles.
That was hit hard and hit over wideish mid-off. There's no question as to whether he middled it. It was hit from the middle of the bat, 5 inches from the base, went sailing over longish, wideish mid-off. This one also in the air. That's going to go all the way too. Oh no, that's a stunning shot. That's a marvelous shot. This one went wider. Now, he opened the face of the bat and lifted it nicely over wideish extra cover, and that went all the way unchallenged by any player. That's a fine shot. 3 consecutive sixes.
Yeah, and easy as you like. Ball over pitched up, and moved into it, and hit it over a wide long off.
Wow, we talk about this game of cricket. No. Kurt Murray, what would you do with this one? 18 gone of 3. In the air. Somebody is running back. Would the catch be taken? No. Drop safely. It was a daring, nervous moment there for the fans of the Nutmeg Warriors and also for Charles. But they get 19 of this over so far. Let's reduce the run rate, the required run rate to now exactly 15. Fletcher now comes in to strike. This might turn out to be the most crucial over. We don't know. Murray to Fletcher, down the track, swings that down to the deep mid-wicket area. Doesn't cue it all that well. He might be upset with himself a bit there, but got a single. One more legal delivery remaining in this over. This is a big over here for Nutmeg Warriors. And Murray will want to bowl a dot ball here. It's going to be important for him and for Clove Challengers. What will Charles do? Charles is hitting that back past the bowler. Or did he get a hand to it?
Yeah, good stop by Murray. Last delivery stroke back. But big over for Nutmeg Warriors. They moved to 59 for 3 of 6 overs. Really for the 64 runs required. 24 deliveries.
20 runs coming off that over. It was big. So 13 sixes have been hit so far in the match, as against 12 fours. So the sixes have dominated. Warriors 59 for 3 of 6. Just 24 legal deliveries remaining. And Nutmeg Warriors, to get over the line, they've got to score 64 in 24.
So the sixes of the tournament has reached 361.
That's a lot, Rico.
And so I think that's a lot of sixes. 361 sixes. As we see Darren Ned now picks up the attack.
To Fletcher. Well, he just runs straight on. Maybe he wasn't quite happy with the grip of the ball in his hand, so just ran through and then dabbled his hand into the dirt. So if there is any sweat in the palm, that will be taken care of by the dryness of the dirt. Moves into bowl to Fletcher once more. Tries off the back foot. Just a single coming off that. And of course, yeah, that's Andre Fletcher's son there by spectacle. In fact, his family has come out to look at the contest. And they love to see him do well. They're supporting the Nutmeg Warriors, but we've got a lot of Clove challengers supporters here. Sort of balance, I would think. 60 for 3 over number 7 in progress. There's still a lot of energy in this match. I can tell you it's not over. Can we have a cliffhanger? Into Charles. Charles swings at that one, goes in the air, catch taken. So Charles looking maybe to go over the top. Ned wasn't the catch taken? What? We thought that it. Oh, let's look and see. Yes, just wondering. What has really happened?
Well, unless you would have probably missed it was a free hit.
Couldn't remember whether there was a no ball call. Maybe. Sorry, viewers. This one is hit hard and high. It's coming in our direction. You heard it on top of us. Hits the roof. That's a ginormous hit by Fletcher. Hit with brute force. I was a little bit concerned as I looked up and saw that it was coming in our direction, but it did hit the rooftop there. And yes, the ball has just been retrieved and sent back on the field. That was a big hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, huge hit. Over pitch delivery. And Fletcher really swung into this one and really hit it really far and really traveled a distance.
25 of 17. Can this be a most important innings? Ned to Fletcher. Wide ball. He's got to bowl that over. Well, the rest of the Nutmeg players, they're cheering every single, every boundary and applauding every wide ball. every extra. Ned moves in. It's got a bustling approach and bowls to Fletcher. Fletcher has a big swing at that one. They will get a single. 3 fielders converging on the ball. Might have been a bit of a on the edge to that one. So Charles is 30 of 14. Fletcher is 26 of 18. They still need 53 in just 21 deliveries. Ned to Charles. Charles is coming forward and hitting that. It's gone for 4. 6 in fact, all the way. Dropped over the boundary line. Great shot. And there was a bit of nonchalance with which he hit that. There was confidence oozing from the body language, suggests that he had clubbed it well. And that was a lovely shot. That's a carry power hit maximum.
Yeah, ball pitched up again and hit straight. And the good thing there with Charles, he didn't try to do anything rash. He hit across it, but hit straight. And pick up another maximum. And that's his 38-6 he have hit in this tournament.
Ned to Charles. Charles is looking to pull that and pulls that well. It's gone for another 6. Oh, that was hit sweetly. The timing was majestic. And the movement of the ball from the bat was imperious. Was a regal hit over mid-wicket, and that's gone for the maximum. It's a carry power hit maximum. He's gone to 42.
Well, that was massive. Short delivery. And he picked it up and really came up. This is probably the sweetest part of the bat, and it sailed over. I think it would have cleared all the vehicles there and maybe dropped just into the estate. Really a big hit.
Well, fortunately, I'm just looking at where mine is parked, and mine is a little squarer, so I hope it didn't get hit, really.
No, I think you are a little bit straighter.
Okay.
This one went square.
Well, I thought about parking on the outside of the ground because there is always dangers with all of these 6s flying all around the boundary. Then I don't want to have any collaboration with my insurance. And in fact, it's just been confirmed that it was a no ball. So you've just put a bit of pepper in the wound. Oh, Darren Ned, no. You can't bowl a no ball, not at this time.
So he has gone for already 24 in the over. I still have 2 deliveries to bowl.
Wow. Not good, Darren. Moves in to Charles. Just inside. I'm sure the umpire had a pretty close look at that one, but it was well bowled by Ned. Just made sure that he asked the batsman to reach for it, but it was inside that guided white line. It's been an expensive over by Ned. Can he close off with a dot ball? Can he? No, yes. The catch taken. Caught. So a big fish has been held. To Jean Charles. Gone for 42. And the Nutmeg Warriors, they've lost a very important wicket. Good catch taken down there, down at long on. They've gone in a huddle, the Clove challengers, but I think Charles could say that he's played his role, he's played his hand. It's been a wonderful performance by him. Let's see whether we can give you a bit of statistic here. Rogers taking a good catch. 42, 18 balls, 1 4, 5 6s, and just 4 dot balls. and strike rate of 234.
Yeah, tremendous catch. Charles going back, and he hit it firmly. And it was just dropping before the long on field, and Richard Rogers coming in, getting both hands on it and taking a really brilliant catch. Certainly, it's a good blow there. 83 now. The departure of Charles. Just probably just bring back the game a little bit more even, but 3 overs to go. And there's just 40 to win, so with Fletcher still at the wicket, it still can't go anywhere.
Kellis Andrew has come out to join Fletcher. The required run rate now is 13. As I always say, your last over, Rafael, you don't want it to be 15 and 16. That's why it's important for these two remaining overs to be above the 13 runs per over.
So we had 44 runs in the last 2 overs. Murray going for 20, and Ned going for 24. And this is what Nutmeg Warriors needed. 2 big overs that really would have bring them back into the picture.
Fletcher looking to pull the ball cannons into his body.
A lot will depend on Fletcher.
Yeah, and you could see the nervousness of the crowd one way or the other. This is wonderful, really is wonderful.
It is coming down to a good finals.
Yes.
Really, really a good finals. This is what you come to expect. These are 2 of the better playing teams in the tournament.
Yes, they're very much at the edge of the seat. Looking at a wonderful final.
We do have Stevenson quite a massive gathering outside. This one is hit. No ball called. Where does this one goes?
No ball signal, and it's also gone for a carry power hit maximum. That was he really went a big wallop, Fletcher. And that went all the way. Important, and he will have to bowl this ball over. No, Joseph, you can't bowl any no balls now. Not at this point. Free hit. And Fletcher is hitting that again. 4 more this time. Well, this is turning out to be a crucial over. Interesting. Fletcher's gone to 36 of 21. The required run rate now 10. Nutmeg Warriors 10.88 rather. Warriors, they required 29. 29 from 16. Can Fletcher be a hero here? Taking up from where the Don Charles left off. Scored 42 of 18 balls. Can the Warriors go over the line? Or can Clove challengers squeeze them and make sure that they don't go over? It's going to be a tussle for victory here. And the one who plays the better cricket and approaches it with greater confidence will win this. Fletcher is pulling down to backward square. They've gone for 1. They're going to come back for the second. They've got to hurry. The return comes in a little belated. They get 2. 2 more to Fletcher, who's gone to 38. 96. 100 in sight. Just 4 away. Required run rate 10.88 now. Joseph. Fletcher, who twitches at the pads and then goes up to the sleeves and then to the helmet.
No ball.
No ball, cried by the umpire. Hit down to the deep mid-wicket area. They will come back for the second run. They get 2. Guilty of overstepping there, Joseph. Oh, that's a cardinal error. Really Unforgivable. Capital felony in cricket, especially in this version of the game. 99 for 4. This is going to be a free hit. Whoa, Joseph. Keep your composure. You got to keep your cool, young man. Turns, moves in to bowl to Fletcher, who would get a free hit here. Oh, he hits that over the cover area. That's gone for a carry power hit maximum. That's what happens, of course, folk, when you bowl a no ball, puts you on the back foot. And Fletcher waited for that. It was outside the off stump and he freed his arms. And that was quite a marvelous shot. Hit that over cover.
Very good shot. Shortest delivery outside the off stump. And give him the room. And he was able to get on this one and hit it easily down to third man. And cleared the third man area. And Fletcher picking up another maximum.
18 needed in 14. Fletcher is off the back foot. Glides it. Glides it. Oh, that was poetic. That was really poetic. Didn't bludgeon it, you see. Now that was the difference between that one and the previous one, which was hit with ferocious power. This one, he made a little bit of room, opened the face of the bat, and in a very charismatic manner caressed it poetically down to the boundary for 4. What a wonderful shot that was. Used the angle well. Fletcher has gone to 50 of 25.
Yeah, he has played a tremendous inning, and this is what was required, the captain's inning. And when one look back at him facing the first few deliveries, he didn't try to do anything rash. He was defending and just getting himself in, but really would have really taken charge.
Joseph to Fletcher. Oh, what a lovely shot that. What a wonderful shot that. It was a sort of no-look shot, and he is pumped up. He pumped and hit the air with his fist, pulled off his helmet as if the match is over, and he walked away. Oh, and he's wielding the bat. Well, you can't blame Fletcher really, because he knows how important this is, and that's not just a personal feat, but quite frankly goes down now. I don't know if he has realized that he's gone past 50, but he's really pumped up. And with just the required run rate being 5, 8 overs gone, 113 for 4. And the Nutmeg Warriors here, they're on course to win this game. They require simply 10 runs in 12 balls. And that so as was pointed out, the family, that's AJ. AJ's and that's of course Jessica, his wife there. There's a little bit of a tear. It's a tear of joy, not sadness. That's his family there. Yeah, and they're all into this really. Oh, it means a whole lot to them. Really means a lot to them. And
Yeah,
Fletcher must have pushed the bat in their direction as if to say, well, this is for you folk. This is from a family.
It has been a tremendous comeback, and you know, as I said very early, even though we had some good tight overs, 5 overs, it was 39. But the last 3 overs, they really would have scored in the region of 73 runs in 3 overs. I tell you, the hitting.
Goofy, you see that? You can't even tell him to go across the door here and go across the man, stand the call.
Just wait for the umpire signal.
Keep doing that, so keep doing that.
Just waiting to see.
Yeah, hit for 4, first delivery from Rogers.
Just waiting to see whether the umpire did signal, maybe while we were following the flight of the ball. So 6 runs needed. Here he is. Opens the face of the bat. Glides it behind square. Charles runs after it. Picks it up. They get a single. Run rate went quickly up to 14.33. Just 5 needed. Well, I've not seen somebody celebrated like this even before the match is completed. That was Fletcher. What a wonderful piece of celebration. I hope that that's captured and we'll be able to see the replay. Down the track, drives that up to mid-wicket, and they get a comfortable single. So they can get this in really in singles. No need for either of them to be dismissed at this moment. 4 needed of 9 legal deliveries. 119 for 4 over number 9. Bowl by Rogers. Off the back foot. Pulls. And goes over the boundary line for 4. It didn't look like that for a moment. And they've all raced onto the field, the Warriors. They've won this game. They've won this game. And what an absolutely magnificent match that we had here. A total 122 posted by Clove challengers, and it looked as though it was going to be a difficult proposition. And in fact, when they lost 3 wickets so early, Nutmeg Warriors, it looked as though they were going to be in trouble. But John Charles went there with Fletcher, did a bit of restoration, and in the end, a stunning, absolutely stunning innings by Andre Fletcher has seen them home, not out 55, 41 balls, 4 fours, 4 sixes. The Nutmeg Warriors are the champions. The 2025 Dream 11 Spiceisle 10-10 tournament, and they have come home triumphant. They can walk with their shoulders up, their chest high, a little higher than normal, and they come back, of course, champions. What a wonderful match this is, and of course, there is no question as to who the man of the match is going to be.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a tremendous performance by the Nutmeg Warriors, and this game of cricket is so uncertain. One would have thought that the start that Clove challengers had, really they had all the momentum going their way. But it only takes 3 overs to turn it around. After 5 overs, they were 39 for 3. And they would have just finished off 8 overs, not even 9 overs, just less than 9 overs. They would have get up to 123 for the loss of 4 wickets. Tremendous batting. These 2 players, both Fletcher and Charles, 2 excellent players. And, you know, as I said very early, it was important, despite the slowness, these 2 players have the ability to change things very quickly. And we have seen it. We've seen the 42 by Charles, and Fletcher continued the show, going on to 55, and making sure that Nutmeg Warriors win 2 in succession to complete victory by 6 wickets.
Yes, they're the defending champions, and the defending championship of obviously defined, and you know, it was no fluke. The fact that they've come and they've defended it and they've won this, and won this with some deliveries to spare. They've won it by 6 wickets. One thought really that Clove challengers, I would think, after the first half of this match, had it within their grasp. And then came a marvelous display of batting by Fletcher and Charles, who looked very composed. Both of them never seemed to panic. And even when Charles went, you knew, quite frankly, that it was now under control. And it was a team effort, no doubt. Hats off, of course, to Andre Fletcher. We're not going to take anything from him. But quite frankly, it really was quite a remarkable innings.
Well, to be fair, Stevenson, I think, as you rightly said, the first 5 overs, Clove challengers could say that they really were in control at 72 without loss. They would have really taken the first bite in this final. And the second 5 over, Nutmeg Warriors really came back strongly. Clove challengers would have taken again the the first few overs, the first 5 overs at 39 for 3. But at the end, and we continue to see it's not the beginning, but the end, we saw that Nutmeg Warriors really come back strongly to register again what ended up to be a comfortable victory by 6 wickets.
Jackson had 1 for 9. He bowled so very well. Amical Dubuisset had 2 for 19. They started off so very well, of course, for the Clove challengers. And Joseph was very expensive. None for 41 of 2. Kurt Murray, that's where the thing really changed. When 20 runs were taken off his bowling, none for 20 of 1. Darren Ed was a bit disappointed. He had a couple of no balls and picked up 1 for 24. And Richard Rogers, well, final over, 10 runs coming off 4 deliveries that he bowled. In the end, the victory was wrought in 8.4 overs. Daniel McDonald, no score. It was a bad start there for Nutmeg Warriors. John Charles, what a wonderful innings. 42 of 18, 5 sixes and 1 4. And though Javon Andrew didn't do very well, 5 of 4 balls, and also Ramdu, 4 of 2 balls. Then came the marvelous innings of the skipper, Andre Fletcher, not out 55, 27 deliveries, 4 fours and 4 sixes, and ably supported in the end by Kellis Andrew, who scored 9 of 3 deliveries. They got there 123, 123 for 4. They won by 6 wickets, and they still had another over to spare.
Yes, convincing win at the end, and due to the tremendous batting by Fletcher and both Charles. Yeah, these are the 2 players really who would have turned it around. And again, shows their worth in terms of ball striking.
Yeah, I've just got news that Andre Fletcher lost his father today. That was just brought to my attention. So want to express condolences to Andre and the rest of his siblings and the yes. So I did miss that. So we want to express condolences, and there was in fact a moment of silence earlier on before the match begun in recognition and condolences to the departed soul of Andre Fletcher's father. So Nutmeg Warriors won by 6 wickets.
Yeah, we certainly want to also add my condolences. Very difficult time in this period, but again, the strength of the person being able to come out and really to play in such a way, even though he's in this situation now, just prove the strength of the player himself. And certainly it's good to see that his family, there was full support from the family, and we certainly wish them the best in this difficult period.
Well, we obviously will have the post-match ceremony and of course the award ceremony. They are making all the necessary preparations for that. The Warriors again winning by 6 wickets, but Raphael, all in all, it really was, yes, a pretty extended competition that lasted 2 weeks duration, but it was very interesting to see the enthusiasm, particularly of the players, day after day as they came here. They didn't seem to suffer from burnt out. Everybody seemed to be enthusiastic and full of energy from beginning to end.
Yeah, you're right. There was a great deal of interest. And you would see in terms of the commitment of the players. One thing I've realized is that the teams themselves seem to be knitted together. The management team, I thought, played a very important part in making sure that they kept, the team together. And there was a desire, there was a zeal to play this tournament. And certainly we would have seen, even from the spectators, the sort of support and the sort of coverage we had in this tournament. I think this was huge, and really could be one of the bigger tournaments we are having in the 5 edition that we have. This could very well be probably one of the biggest in terms of the support. as we come to the end of the tournament and you look around and there's still quite a bit of persons that is here to witness that final.
Yeah, very much. And it was played within the spirit of the sport. That's the good thing about it. All of these players playing against one another in various other competitions. Some of them have played on the same team and now playing against each other. We've got the Murray brothers playing against each other. Would have had, no doubt, a bit of piconging here and there and challenging one another here and there and after match humor. But all in all, the spirit of the game was really good. And although I still think that it would have been nice, Raphael, to see some bigger totals, maybe the 130s, beyond 100, a bit more regularly, by and large, you cannot in any way fault the competitive nature of practically every match.
Yes, you certainly right, me. And I agree with you. That's probably an area where we expected maybe to see more runs being scored. And when we look at the nature of the pitch, one expected bigger scores. But we were seeing coming into the end of the tournament that the batsmen seemed to come into their own in terms of the pace in which they score. The run rate for the last few games have been very good. We had big opening stands, and really is an indication of the batsman really seemingly coming into their own. And today, a top player is a top player. A class player is a class player. And yes, you would have some period of time where we would seem not to be doing too well. But a good player is a good player. And you had to come sometime. And today we see Fletcher coming at the right time. And therefore, coming off the victory really tells you in terms of the quality of the play of the team, Nutmeg Warriors. They came from behind and really came back strongly to come with the winners in this encounter.
Yes, the other thing of great commendation was the outfield and also the pitch. The ground staff here, they've done an absolutely marvelous job in ensuring that the ground remain nicely shown and the pitch, really. We can't stop talking about the pitch, which obviously a lot of work went into it. And to play a tournament on two pitches that has not fallen apart, not crumbled, not deteriorated, quite frankly, that to me is more than commendatory.
Yes, tremendous work by the ground staff. I know that they had to know when to wet and also know when to roll, and I think they kept the pitch in really good condition. And I don't think I've heard anyone complain in terms of the way the pitch would have played. But certainly it played really well throughout the tournament. And I'm pretty positive that the only commendation would be given to the ground staff in terms of what transpired here today and over the last 2 weeks. It really have been a good tournament. I think the organizers really will be very pleased with the way things went, the support that we got. And again, as Justin takes the chair, the spectator support and the input into what has transpired really made it really huge.
Well, I'm not like I'm joining in the controversy, but as I walk around the ground a few minutes ago, a number of people are going to say, make sure I bring back the tournament to last just next year.
Well, I think it would have really developed quite a great deal of interest. And we have seen persons in the crowd, we have seen the Minister of Education, and certainly, I think persons were happy to have such a tournament here at Lassages. So our hope is that we're probably going to have a next one before year end. The interests that have been developed, and we just have to make sure that what we do it right. And therefore, I would expect that certainly we probably going to be looking to another tournament somewhere down the road.
And despite the stadium might come back on stream, at least we must I probably again I don't want to create a controversy, but what I'm saying is that it might be a nice thing to bring one back for the fans and everybody up for based on the support we have gotten in Las Vegas and so on and so forth.
So, so they just seem to be ready for us for the presentation. At this time, I'll go down to Rondell John. Over to you.
Okay, so we Okay, so we are here for the post-match presentations, and we will speak. 1 2 1 2. Okay, so we want to speak to the Nutmeg Warriors, the Clove Challengers captain. Roland, you had a really good run in this year's tournament. You came to the finals, and I think you did really outstandingly well, but failed to really bring home the bacon, let's say that. Tell us about that game.
First of all, let me say I'm extremely proud of the guys. I think that they played well during the tournament, and credit goes out to Andre and the way he and Dejan batted. I mean, it's cricket. You win some, you lose some, and them guys was better on the day, so just credit to them.
All right, we've seen some really good cricket from the Clove Challengers. You as the captain, what would you say to the boys now at the end of this tournament?
You win some, you lose some. And when you take your loss, you just have to come back hard and try and see what way you went wrong, where you make the mistakes, and just back yourself, believe. And that is a game of cricket. You're going to win, you're going to lose, but it's how you bounce back from it.
All right, well, commiserations to you. And let's see what happens with the Clove from here.
All right, thank you very much.
We are going to be speaking now to the captain of the Clove, the Nutmeg Warriors captain. Andre, you came to the finals. Your team sealed their spot very early. You are defending champions. What would you say is responsible for the way you guys handled today's match?
I must say we've been put under immense pressure from ball one. The guys, they came out and they batted exceptionally well in the first 4 overs, I must say. But what I think actually brought us back into the game is where we, kept our composure. I asked the guys to remain calm. It's all about, trying to see if we could bowl at least 1 or 2 good overs and then try to pull it back. And, restricting them for 120-21. I told the guys, if I came here anytime, if I come here, anytime and I was asked to chase 120, in whatsoever circumstance, I will take it. And I believe that the guys, we went out. We believe, even though wickets were falling, but it was just a matter of, trying to get that big over. As I told them, let's try to get at least 10 runs per over. And then once we get 1 or 2 big overs, the game is finished. And, I must say well done to the guys. We stuck together as a team. We enjoy each other's success. And it's all about expressing themselves.
All right, well said there, Andre. And so you are once again champions. I mean, I just want you to take a moment and just speak to your Nutmeg Warriors fans.
I might be wrong, but I think apart from tourism in Grenada, where spices is concerned, I believe nutmeg is one of the most selling product of Grenada. So I don't expect the clove to come and overshadow the nutmeg. If you go in a room and you grate nutmeg and you put clove by the door, you will still smell the nutmeg. So big up to all the nutmeg fans. I thank you guys for coming out here, supporting us. We believe in ourselves. We believe in you guys. And in spite of it all, as I told the guys, the among that is against us, always remember there's one person that is for us, and will always be for us. So thanks very much. I appreciate it. And thanks for the support.
All right. Well, Andre, really well played to you and the boys. And so we want to say congratulations to you and the Nutmeg Warriors.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we're getting ready for the presentation, the match presentations, and we're going to begin with the impact bowler of this match. So we are going to be presenting the impact bowler. And that person is none other than Haston Jackson. And so we're inviting Haston to come. All right, Aston, you had the ball in your hands. The skipper has asked you to do a job, and you really did it well. Tell us about that bowling innings.
Well, I just go out there, back myself, decide to hit the wicket hard, and things come out my way.
Well, we know that you are a really good bowler, but the pressure was on, and yet you were able to handle it. What was the mindset? How do you prepare yourself for that sort of pressure?
Well, with time and God, anything is possible.
All right, thank you very much. The impact bowler, Haston Jackson. We're moving on to the Carib power hitter for this match. And Mr. Edgar is going to come and present the Carib power hitter, Dejon Charles. Dejon really struck the ball well, and so he hit the most sixes in this match. Dejon, congratulations to you on another power hitting victory. Tell us about the mindset going into to bat. You opening the innings, you know what is required. Just bring us through that whole ordeal right there.
It's just a normal process. You go out to bat, you assess the pitch and assess the bowlers. I think we was under pressure at the start when we was batting, so I know I had to bat deep and then target a bowler, and that came off well.
All right. How do you prepare in terms of mentally for finals like this where you know that the opponents are going to come at you?
I don't think it as a finals. I think as a normal other cricket game. So I wouldn't have no pressure on me and just go out and do what I do best.
All right. So congratulations to you and the Nutmeg Warriors. And also, we're going to present the man of the match, and that is none other than Andre Fletcher, man of the match for this match. All right, Andre, again, you knew what was needed and you knew that you had to bat deep. You did that. Just tell us how do you prepare? I mean, mentally, how do you really get yourself in tune for these sort of matches?
I must say today it was really tough mentally. Leaving home and getting that bad news that my dad passed away. It was really hard. I must say I came here, and as you realize, I didn't take the toss, and it was just a matter of me trying to, suck in that grief. And I told the guys I'll try my best. I'll go out there and see if I can fight it for the team. I really appreciate the guys, supporting me mentally. And it's all about belief. I don't take the game for granted. I always try my best to stay as level-headed as possible. And cricket is all about, seeing the ball, trying to keep your shape as long as possible and hitting the ball. So as much as they had me under pressure, I must say, but it was just a matter of me looking for that big over. And as you saw, as soon as I got that big over, that's when the pressure got released. So it's all about mental toughness. I must say it's not only about skills, but being strong mentally and going out there and doing it for the team.
All right, well, you are really a mentally tough person. You played at the highest level, and so I believe this comes naturally. Congratulations to you, Andre.
Thank you.
So we want to move ahead. We're going to move straight into the presentations of the awards for this year's tournament. Okay, so all right, so we getting into the closing ceremony, and we want to present our first award, and this award goes to the most outstanding under 19 player, and that person is going to receive $500 sponsored by Mr. Kerry Frank, and that player is none other than Kurt Murray of the Clove Challengers. He scored a total of 66 runs, picked up 9 wickets, and he also had 4 catches. So that's our under 19 player of the tournament, Kurt Murray. We want to move ahead to the person scoring the most runs in this year's tournament. All right, so we're gonna just change the program slightly. We're gonna look for the person with the most catches by a fielder, and that award goes to Keyshawn Abraham. He had 11 dismissal, 9 catches, 2 runouts, and so we want to present a trophy to Keyshawn Abraham. We're moving along, most dismissals by a wicketkeeper, and that award goes to Jevon Andrew. He has 7 dismissals, 5 catches, 2 stumpings, 2 runouts. And Mr. Boyd is going to present. All right, so we want to continue with the presentations, and we are going to present the bowler with the most wickets, and that's the Global Services Inc. most wickets in the tournament. That person will receive trophy and $700. And that award goes to Ronell Williams, 13 wickets at an average of 13.15. His best bowling figures, 3 for 19. We're moving along, and we're going to present the person scoring the most runs in this year's tournament, the Carib power hitter, let's put it that way. He will receive a trophy and $700. And that award goes to Nikosi Saint-Hilaire. He had 325 runs at an average of 46.43, a strike rate of 187.86, 25 fours, and 26 sixes. Nikosi Saint-Hilaire. we are now going to present the MVP of this year's tournament, and that person is none other than Darren Ned. He will receive $1,000, his trophy, and a Dutch lady hamper. Darren had 252 runs, 25 sixes, 13 fours, 8 wickets, and 11 dismissals, including catches and runouts. And we are now going to present the match officials with their awards. We're going to present the match officials, so we just want the match officials to come. The umpires will come first. Mr. Sean Manwaring. Umpire Fraser. Isaiah Peters. Umpire Holas. Umpire George. Match referee Mr. Norman Gilbert. And we make mention of Mr. Carl Felix, match referee. So we are getting ready to present the man of the match. We have Mr. So we're going to have a presentation. The man of the match for all the matches this year was sponsored by Blue Bubbles. And so we want him to come, and he is going to make a presentation to Mr. Gilbert towards the man of the match for all of the matches that have been played. So we're moving on to the second place awards, and we want to invite Mr. Ryan Boyd to come. The second place, they will receive the medals, and they would be awarded $5,000 for second position. And so the captain will lead from the front, and the other gentlemen will follow. We have manager Benji, Cut Murray, Javid Hazard, Jelani George, Michael Dubisset, Sheldon Joseph, Ashton Jackson. No. Devin Tyson. Darren Ippolit. Richard Rogers. Nicholas Redhead. Darren Ned. And coach Keon George. So congratulations to the Clove Challengers. They are the runners-up. And ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to present to the winning team, the champions, the back-to-back champions. This is the first time that a team has won back-to-back championships at the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. And let's welcome the Nutmeg Warriors. And so they will be led by the captain. All right, so Coach Murray, you can lead them. Daniel McDonald. Dejon Charles. John Olive. Kyle Ramdu. Alex Moses. Jevon Andrew. Huh? Okay. Okay. Take me out, man. So you want to do it before? Okay. No, you just have to do it one time. Enoch to St. Kelly Sancho. Nyron Belfon. Chris Alexander. Josh Thomas. Coach Junior Murray.
Run, Miss D. Run, Miss D. Run yourself.
Junior, no me, madam. Manager Dan John. Manager Kazira Thomas. And Captain Andre Fletcher. And so Andre will receive the winning trophy and the check for $25,000. That's the earnings for being the champions of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 Season 5. We also have a presentation to Dejon Charles on behalf of Dutch Lady. Dejon being awarded the most outstanding Nutmeg Warrior player. And Dutch Lady are the sponsors of the Nutmeg Warriors. And so, just a token to Dejon. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to the presentation. And so we present to you the champions of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 Season 5, the Nutmeg Warriors. Nutmeg Warriors, make some fans, make some noise. I want all the sponsors. And so at this time we want to we still want to say a special thank you to all of the persons who contributed in making this Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 a success. And so we want to say thank you to Dream 11, IMA Grenada, Nawasa, Blue Bubbles, Stonehill, Real Property Grenada, Grenada Fast Sprint. We want to say thank you to Cyber Cafe, also to the M&N Hardware. We must say thank you to all the ground staff. I mean, without them, this facility would not be looking the way it is looking. The pitch, they really did an outstanding job. And so we want to say thank you to the ground staff for really putting together a facility that has responded to good cricket. And so Theo and the boys, hats off to you. We also want to say thank you to all the supporters who came out and been a part of this edition of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. We must say again thank you to our scorers. Thank you to all the office staff, the facility managers. We say thank you to each and everyone who has contributed in some way towards the success of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament season 5. And so if I missed anyone, please, we are really eternally grateful for your support. So thank you, and we hope to see you again for the next season of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. Until then, take care.